Hey, everybody, it's Wednesday morning, the 14th of January. And hi, everybody, I'm meteorologist Bob Maxon, coming to you from the NBC Connecticut Storm Tracker Weather Lab, where you'll find me each and every morning. Hopefully, you've either settled into your mid-morning routine. Maybe you're in the office and you sneak your headphones in to listen. However you go about it, we're glad you do. Through NBC Connecticut's Facebook page live, and also NBC Connecticut's Bob Maxon's Facebook page live, and also on the NBC Connecticut YouTube channel, where you get tons and tons of content. Now, as you look at the title to today's live, it says Wednesday weather update, which is obviously, I'm the master of the obvious. But then there's changes. That's the theme to the weather now, is changes, David Bowie, right? Changes in temperatures, changes in attitude, changes in latitude. Sorry, Jimmy Buffett. But we do have changes. And some of those changes could mean some interesting weather. Headlines go like this, as we like to check and start with the rundown. The January thaw is ending tomorrow. Today is very mild. Tomorrow is less mild and turning colder. And with that, a few rain and snow showers are possible. Changes in the weekend forecast, that's something we'll dive into, because there is some trends that have my attention. Yeah, so good morning. The rundown, obviously mild today, near 50. We'll talk about a few rain and snow showers, and that's about it. Live pictures right now, they come to us from Waterbury, where it's cloudy. Temperatures are very mild. Overnight lows were between about 30 and 42. Which is unusual for this time of year. And the clouds are thickening up now. We did have a beautiful sunrise. I've shared it on my NBC Connecticut Bob Maxon page. I've shared it on X as well. Some gorgeous captures of the sunrise from here at the station with our network of cameras, like this one in Waterbury, and also from a regular contributor, Tom, on Lake Pocatapog. Just amazing, amazing stuff. Also, remember, as we go through the weather forecast, I got to make today's a little bit faster. I have to, unfortunately, leave work a little early, and so I got to be a little quick here. So I'm going to be a little quicker than normal, but you can watch it at your leisure. Pause it, mute it, do whatever you want, but we're glad you're here. So cloudy skies right now. So the weather's set up, and we'll go into the drawing here and show you what's happening. I can analyze. And right now we have a southwest breeze. Okay, that's a mild weather direction. And it looks like some showers are trying to encroach now into parts of western Connecticut or the Hudson Valley. What I do have to double check, though, is to see what radars are working, because the Brookhaven radar was out for maintenance, so it could be a little misleading. So we'll get into that in just a minute. Cold front comes sweeping by tomorrow. It takes forever, because what's going to happen here is that front is going to drop into the Appalachians, and another low is going to form, and that's going to move up to our west. So everything is west of us in the short term. At the same time, see this mess down here? That's going to go out to sea to our south and east. But even the trends with that have gotten a little bit more interesting. But it still misses Connecticut. All right, so I'm not worried about Connecticut, but it's coming a little bit closer, which is always interesting to see. Okay, so here's the latest on live storm tracker Doppler radar. And what I want to do here is I'm going to go in and look at Connecticut. I want to see something, because some of this may not be reaching the ground. Let's see. I'm clicking around like a madman. And yes, it's less impressive on the Doppler radar. See, that's being picked up by Albany, and New York is OTS right now. So that's never good. So a few sprinkles are possible in western Connecticut. And let me just see if I can do something. First time I've tried this. This is kind of exciting. I'm doing something on the fly. Hope I didn't mess up my feed to all of you, because that would be a bad thing. Winter storm, let's see, winter weather advisories are up for parts of New York. Right now, Danbury is reporting partly cloudy skies, so go figure. The radar says it's raining. Tons of dry air at the surface says not so fast. Okay, so that's what I wanted to double check. Overcast at Central Park, partly cloudy Danbury, a few clouds in Bridgeport. Okay, so it's not raining. If it is raining where you're living, watching, viewing, hop into the chat, won't you please? Good morning, Bob from Waterbury. Thanks, Michelle. Hi, Marshall. Thank you, Marshall. And good morning to me from Idian, Quinones. Good morning. Yes, good morning. Thank you for checking in. All right, let me get back to the weather. This is a look at future radar, taking the model data that comes at us in gobs and gobs and putting into motion. There's your increasing clouds and the shower chance today. The best chance is Litchfield County, maybe Fairfield County, maybe Northwest Hartford County. I think that's a bit of a stretch, but that little batch of showers can fly by midday and early afternoon. And then everything's always off to our west. Oh, I forgot to put the pause points here. That was weird. It's always off to the west of us. Overnight tonight, a couple of showers tomorrow morning, maybe a rain or snow shower as the cold air rushes in, but you can see a whole lot of nothing, at least on this particular depiction. I kind of agree with it in the short term. I do want to give folks who are going skiing for the Martin Luther King Jr. holiday long weekend ahead. This is a little bit undercooked, but I think that Vermont is going to do well and northern New Hampshire can do well over time. I think they'll be able to replenish some of their snow. So let's talk about snow. It's what most people care most about. This is through, I think, Saturday morning. And the focus for any real interesting weather is way out here. So that's where the accumulating snow is in the order of 5 to 10 inches. And this is the North American model and only slightly lake enhanced. That's actually just a low pressure system tracking up Interstate 81 or just east of there in New York State and misses us. It doesn't even give us, barely gives us any rain. It's just, what a weird setup this is. And then also note that this snow depiction has a little something out there too, because the southern stream of the jet brings stuff kind of close, but not close enough. So here we are in between. So let's change models. Oh, not much of a change here. The winteriest weather is way out there by Syracuse, Rochester, and Buffalo, and a big nothing here except the Berkshires and maybe northwest parts of Connecticut get a little coating by morning. And the European model says the Green Mountains, the Berkshires, but nothing in Connecticut. Again, we're in between two systems, and it's odd, but we get virtually nothing. Okay, so what's that mean? Good question. First of all, today, forecast, lots of gray, a spotty shower west, Litchfield, Fairfield, maybe Northwest Hartford County, a couple of sprinkles or a light shower. It is not a big situation as far as precipitation. Look at the high temperatures. Say bye-bye to this, 45 to 50 degrees for highs today. And that all starts to change. Temperatures drop off tonight. A rain or snow shower is possible tonight. There was some model indicating a little coating of snow up there around Salisbury. I'm going to sell on it with the newest data, but I'm never going to rule it out completely. So Route 7, 41, 44 could have a little bit of snow on it tomorrow morning in northwest Connecticut. Always got to stress that, not in like Canton or something. Tomorrow, lots of clouds, some sun breaks through, but look, we go from 39 to 42 to 30. And that sets the stage for some cold winds blowing tomorrow night into Friday morning. There's your high temperatures, kind of an up and down, kind of almost paralleling roller coaster. Chilly Friday, not so cold Saturday, but then turning colder and staying colder all next week. But sometimes the chill shows up most readily in the overnight lows. And you can see Friday morning, 13 with wind will feel like 0 to about 8 above 0. That's cold. In the morning meeting, somebody used the word frigid, and I got mad because I was thinking they were looking at, this. All right, there's nothing frigid about this particular part of the forecast. We got to remember how we use our words. 29 is unseasonably chilly, but it's not frigid. But 13 with wind is somewhat cold. Not unusual, but it is what it is. Here's your 10-day forecast. I've included some snow showers on Saturday, and I thought I included this. I'm gonna do something real quick here. We're gonna take you through something. So there's the 10-day. What I want to show you is, and I thought I included this. All right. So I love the fact I can bounce around like this because my ADD mind works like this a lot. There is Friday with the cold air roaring in. That was really dramatic. And Saturday, a little wave gives us some snow showers on Saturday. I don't think it's a lot, but the European model agrees with this. So I'm going with just a little snow shower activity Saturday. And then we go into Sunday, and there's still some stuff around. Snow showers. But here, this is where it gets interesting. Sunday afternoon, Sunday night, Patriots, maybe a little white. And this just came out this morning, is that the trend is to create this issue with low pressure along the coast. I'm not sure the drawing mechanism is going to let me do that. Oh, it does. Okay. So there's a trend to bring a storm a little bit closer than we previously thought. And we'll expand on this. Remember, this is Sunday night, Monday morning. We're sitting here on Wednesday morning. So this is not written in stone. We're not going to draw a snow map, okay? I'm just talking about the trends. And the trend seems to want to create some weather hijinks. So let's just see if that holds. Okay, back to the 10-day forecast, because I can. Snow showers on Saturday, maybe on Sunday. Again, nothing big. We could dust the ground in a few towns. We head to the Martin Luther King holiday. Martin Luther King Jr. holiday. It's brisk. 30 is not unusually cold. Come on. Be chilly if you're going skiing, but you dress for it. We're hardy New Englanders. At least we're supposed to be. Next week, sustained below average temperatures. We haven't had that in a while. And remember, I'm interested in what could happen maybe Sunday, Monday. Again, nothing set in stone, but something could be developing. Could. Not saying it will. And the next week is cold along the shoreline too. Not amazingly cold, but colder than it's been. So this forecast here is subject to change. Texans, Patriots. I threw some snow showers in for later in the game because it could happen. All right. Not overly enthused about it, but it could happen. What should I put up? I'm going to put the nice live pictures of Waterbury up, and then I'm going to answer some questions. But as I do so, I'm going to have a sip of a vanilla latte. I have to go on a kind of long drive right now, so I need a little caffeine. And I'm doing okay. Time-wise, I got to drive to Hawthorne, New York to attend and represent my family at my godmother's burial. The wonderful Mary Hawley passed away earlier this month. We've written notes to each other. She lived in Florida after the death of her husband, my godfather, Bob. And we've written notes, tried to share some information. She's advanced in age and she passed away, but I'm going to represent my family in Westchester County. And so I got to run. So sooner than later. All right. So prayers up for Mary. She was a lovely, lovely friend of my parents. So that's important to me. Michelle says, good morning from Waterbury. And oddly enough, Michelle, we have Waterbury up on the screen. What are the chances? About 1 in 7, actually. It's cloudy in Waterbury. Yes, it is. Good morning, Bob, from Andrea. Thank you, Andrea. There's a sprinkle in the sky. Thank you, Michelle. A little sprinkle out of that radar, but it's just making it through the dry layer, albeit barely. Lynn says, good morning. I say good morning right back. Alexander, a regular viewer, love that. And Philip, that's a new one. Philip, I love Newport, Rhode Island, too. I see the tattoo. I'm thinking it's temporary. It'd be kind of interesting to have a permanent tattoo, but I like Newport. I liked it as a young adult, but I like it even more as a older adult. It can be very relaxing, and obviously the dining is off the charts there. Good morning from Groton. No rain here yet. And Jeff, I don't expect you to get any, really. Never did, never expected that. So don't worry about too much about that. Kelly says, good morning from Basra. It's almost like I ask people to check in. Like some people do that. Like, where are you watching from? But I love the fact that you're all jumping in. Amber, interesting last name. Connecticut viewers know what I'm talking about. But Amber, thank you for tuning in. Any relation? We've got ourselves no rain in Montville, but definitely a gloomy day. Amber, you listen carefully, and it's a lovely picture, by the way, that you have as your profile. Yes, gloomy, gray, but mild. So you want to go out for a walk today? My co-anchor Eddie went for a jog yesterday. Why not? Okay, it's really nice out. As far as temperatures. Kristen says, good morning. I recently started watching your weather updates. Thanks so much for keeping us updated. Kristen, that is the idea. Do me a favor. On the right side of the Facebook Live, there's a share button. Share it with your friends. Who knows who might watch? So I appreciate it. Hey, Sarge. Good morning. I will be coming to town next Friday. Do you know how the weather will be? I live in Niskayana. Yes, near Albany. Next Friday, there are some small indications, Mr. Moses. Sorry about the cough. I have a tickle. There's some indications there could be a wintry mix. So it's not a long drive. So let's visit next week about that. How about that? Okay. Donna, 42 degrees and overcasting in Ellington. Ellington. That's how we pronounce it anyways. Donna, that's a sweet picture too. Donna has 42 degrees in Ellington. Ellington. Oh, so Sal says, so you're saying there's a chance. I get it. Sal's a big skier. I used to be a big skier, so this stuff used to concern me a lot more, but my knees don't let me anymore. I talked about this a couple weeks ago on this particular feed. My big toe on my right foot doesn't allow me. I don't think it's a bunion. It's just arthritis, and I can't bend my toe to get into a ski boot, and it really bugs me. I've tried rear entry. I've tried everything, and I was literally in tears at Vail. I had to ski because I'd spent so much money, but I had to get my foot in the boot, and I literally cried. So there's that. Sal, yes, the ski areas could use some snow. As I mentioned, I think New York and Vermont do pretty well with this system in the next 36 to 48 hours. I think they could pick up some nice snow on the mountaintops. Oh, thank you, Kristen. I appreciate that. And Debbie, I appreciate that too. Again, I guess you get to a certain age and it's kind of part of life. It's sad, but at the same time, I think she's probably a lot more comfortable now. And she's reunited with her husband and my parents. And that's cool. As I joked with the gentleman who contacted me about all of this, there's a hell of a happy hour going on in heaven right now. Any blizzard coming in February? Christopher, I have no idea. No idea. Nobody does. No idea. Safe travels. Thank you, Michelle. Appreciate that. No rain yet in Bristol. Michelle, it was never really supposed to rain today. It's interesting. I glean how the public ingests our weather by the comments. And today was a cloudy day. So any mention of rain has been kind of sparse because the rain chances were low. So I always wonder where people get that from. Like, I didn't expect any rain in Bristol today. I didn't say it was going to rain in Bristol today. At least I hope I didn't. Dreary overcast in Norwalk. Yeah, Maria. Yeah. Dreary is a great term for it. Janelle says, good morning from Torrington. Can we say Torrington? Torrington? Ellington? You know I'm kidding around. Good morning from Stratford. Hey, Eileen. Good morning to you. That's a big family picture. That's fun. And good morning to you. I appreciate you watching. Tuning in from West Hartford. Appreciate all your expertise. Christy, thank you. I try to glean some weather knowledge, but also try to make people smile as best we can. I think in the world right now, we could use some smiles. I know it's early, but what about next weekend, Saturday? More too early. Cute picture. Too early to talk about next weekend. I barely can wrap my head around this weekend. As I mentioned just a little while ago, there's changes already showing up for maybe later this weekend. So too early, but we'll get to it. We'll get to it when we can. Days 8, 9, 10, 11, it's an outlook, not a forecast. So too early to tell. I heard early spring, Gary. Where'd you hear that? Oh, you want to talk about this? The MJO going back into the warm phase for the East Coast later. Gary, I don't have time to look at every indicator of every long-term and long-range forecast that you might read about on the internet. So let's not worry about that right now. Interesting comment from Catherine. Ashford was above freezing, and it wasn't even close early this morning. It was in the 40s. But as I talked about the beautiful sunrise, we had an area of clear skies go overhead, or very thin overcast. And right as the sun was coming up, the temperatures kind of dropped. And many times it didn't drop to freezing, but it was above freezing, but the ground is still frozen and surfaces did become icy. George, my longtime weather watcher in Cheshire, he was out for a walk on the bike path. He's like, I got to text Bob. And he texted me, he said, it's kind of icy out here. So a little bit of black ice on some cases. We've been saying on untreated surfaces, and that was hard to find. All the rain from over the weekend, Saturday especially, washed a lot of those treatments away. So there could be a few patches of ice underfoot generally. So keep that in mind. Good morning. Oh, hey, Claire. Griffin's girlfriend. Now the question is, which Griffin? We have two Griffins here. What are the chances of having two Griffins working in the same building? And they work at desks that are literally feet apart. I don't think I'd ever heard the name Griffin before as a first name until these two gentlemen started working here. So, Claire, I'm not sure which Griffin, but both Griffins are pretty awesome. So there's that. Thanks for checking in from Wallingford. Good morning from Newington. Thanks, Luann. That is a gorgeous German Shepherd. Wow. What a beautiful dog that is. German Shepherds. I think they're probably the most Pit Bulls, Rottweilers, German Shepherds are so misunderstood. When they're yours, they're the best. I mean, I was scared of German Shepherds as a kid until I went to Fidelco one day and played with German Shepherd puppies for like 2 hours. And it was one of the greatest days of my life. So there's that. Okay. So as I mentioned, I got to make this quick. Got to hit the road. Like I can hit the road right now. So with that said, couple of the takeaways from today's weathercast. Today is cloudy. There can be a few light rain showers. It's very mild, 50. That's it for the thaw. Tomorrow we start our return to normalcy with a scattered rain or snow shower. There's never a lot of precipitation around Connecticut, so I'm not worried about it. Friday's gusty winds, wind chill near 0 to 10 above Friday morning. Friday's not terrible. I mean, near 30 for a high, the wind chill in the teens. That's January, folks. Saturday looks like a little ripple of low pressure could bring some snow showers and maybe a dusting of snow on Saturday. More on that later. Sunday, there could be a scattered snow shower, but there are some signals of a coastal storm trending back to the west. A lot of times it trends back to the west and then trends to the east, and it's something that we monitor very carefully. There could be a little snow in the air for the Patriots-Texans game in Foxborough late Sunday afternoon. Next week, sustained cold, but pretty dry. Then by next weekend, things could get a little more interesting. And for some of those folks checking in, asking about that, we'll have more on that, of course. If we, are they both Griffins have last names of M? No, that's not the case. I know who you're talking about, Claire. Okay, with that said, I got to run. Thank you. I'll be back in this space tomorrow. I hope everybody has a wonderful day. Make it a good one. Be kind. Make someone smile. All right? Best idea today. If you're at the store, school, I don't know, anywhere, make someone smile. And we'll see you tomorrow.